Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video, we are doing a review on the Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir movie. So once again, as I said in my other video when I watched K-pop Demon Hunters, wasn't really a big fan of musical. I did hear this one was a musical, but some of the songs in this movie actually was not bad. I went in with not too high expectations because I wasn't too sure how the movie was going to go, but I can say that I'm actually quite happy with how the movie seemed to go on. Good story. There was a couple good songs. Some of them were like to me. So this is my review on the Miraculous, just the Miraculous movie. So it first starts off with Master Fu. So we got Master Fu here showing us exactly, well, talking about the magical drills of the ladybug and the cat. Ladybug and the cat, Plague and Tiki, and basically saying how they create world peace and they're trying to do that, and then they talk about Hawkmoth with the Akuma. We go straight into the movie where we see the bakery in this movie, but in this movie you can see here when it goes down into it, like how like many people are around and how like full the scene is. It's not like that in the show. It shows a bit more back, but then we see the first look at Marinette's parents in the movie, and Tom, but he still massive, still a giant compared to everybody else. And then we get our first glimpse at Marinette in the movie. So she's still got the iconic blue hair and all that other stuff. But this part here, when her dad wants to take her to school, which I'm pretty sure this is like the first day of school. Did they ever really mention that in the movie, if this was the very start or not? She didn't want him to take her to school because she's worried they'll make fun of her for having a dad who owns a bakery, and basically she has no friends. Of course that will change soon. Of course mum steps in to stop it, and then we go on to our first song of the musical, which to me is like, it's alright. I mean, I watched K-pop Demon Hunters and then I watched this, so the music on in that movie is completely different to this. Like, that's just banger after banger, proper music one. But in this we get to the Gabriel Agress. Yeah, the main villain, Monarch Gabriel. We see his part, and this is actually interesting in the show because we actually get to see him be an actual fashion designer. Definitely different compared to the show. And then we finally see, of course, one of the hated characters in the show, Chloe. And basically I'll let this part play out a little bit.
Okay, Sabrina, plan check.
Oh, watch out!
You just ruined my Gabriel Agrest sweater! I'm so Marinette.
Don't stop on my account. I'm just a fly on the wall.
Gonna be my new best friend. It's just a priceless cashmere.
Of course, so Halia steps in to help to basically save Marinette from Chloe being Chloe. And and they become friends basically as they walk in the scene in the hallway. But see how there's so many, like everybody else is in there. We see Alex, Julika, Ivan's there, Rose, the two others, Nathaniel. There we go. Basically, a montage of Marinette basically failing at everything, gymnastics, bloody blowing up basically the science room. And then we get the backstory on Gabriel.
My love, where is that dress you promised me?
We have all the time in the world.
And I don't mind waiting forever.
I would give every moment I have left for just a glimpse of you in that dress, Emily.
To be honest, I've never seen such a strange artifact. It gives me the chills.
Then basically we get Marinette getting chased by Chloe. She hides into the library, and then this is where she meets Adrian, and this is where we don't get complete stalker, but we get just Marinette staring at Adrian while he's just in the library reading a book. And then we get sort of the first sort of meeting, not really romance of them, but first time of them meeting. But yeah, we get the first look at Adrian in the movie, which still got all the classic blonde hair, whatever stuff. This movie with the like animation is amazing. The whole like the lighting, just how it is perfect. Of course, season 6, definitely the lighting has got a lot better in that season, the new season, which still hasn't fully came out yet. But then we get Nino being nice to like, seems like he already knew Adrian for where in the show he just met him, and Adrian just seems to be like not as famous in this movie as the show. Like, yes, he's got a billionaire dad, but he seems to act like he likes to stay away from other people. And then we get Adrian going to the theatre that Emily performed at, and it turns out this was taking place on Emily's birthday. So but this is where we see that Gabriel's got the miraculous of the butterfly, which if you watch the show you would know, and this is where he becomes Monarch. Then we get the iconic scene of Master Fu was chasing after the ladybug miraculous and catches in the middle of the road and almost gets hit. Basically at the show she saves him, and she gets, instead of him leaving the miraculous later, it goes into a bag. Like in the movie it seems like the miraculous have control of the jewels instead of not in the series. Chloe just keeps chasing after her, and then basically she hides in the alley, and then we get to see Adrian get the cat miraculous. Then we basically meet our first villain, where he gets rejected from being, well, he tried to propose to his wife and, well, girlfriend, soon to be wife, and she rejected. So then Monarch sends out Akuma, and Akuma ties them. Then we get Marionette basically singing Tiki for the first time and screaming after she sees basically her, and then they go on basically Tiki singing like another music, and basically about how Marionette says like she's not the person that should be Ladybug. Then we get to see basically Ladybug's suit. Then we get the iconic scene where the two heroes meet. Basically she's trying to fly around learning her yo-yo, and they butt into each other and basically hanging upside down, sort of like how it happened in the show. And I like this part where they land, and because Cat Noir is a cat, he lands on his feet where she doesn't. But this part here was actually pretty cool when they keeping Cat Noir sort of when they're keeping Cat Noir like mysterious and sort of like seemed like a big hero and not a comedian. Well, I guess say comedian, but like not a guy who puts out puns and stuff like that. And then we go on to a pretty cool fight scene with I don't know what you would call the creature with the wings. I don't know what you call it, but yeah, this was actually pretty cool. Like the water effects in this movie are really good, and then just the few of the puns Cat Noir puts out is just, you know, your typical Cat Noir stuff. And then like the lighting, like this shot right here with the lighting and everything, like it looks so good with this lighting, with the on the characters and stuff like that. Like it definitely was a high budget. So we had let me see, Marinette's using her actual like vision thing that she uses, and using her vision so that she can actually, where she actually gets the confidence and starts using her yo-yo properly. And because she just saves Cat Noir from getting hit by the train, instead the villain gets hit by the train. And in this part, it's just funny how when she goes to help him up, they play this song, they play that song, and then I like how this time, instead of them embracing them straight away, the police come and then have to they're going to try and like find him and arrest him. So they quickly got out of there and then we see like the Akuma first, but instead of in the show where she de-evilized the Akuma, it just goes and disappears into the sky, which is a different way. Then we get an interesting part of like how they finally meet Master Fu for the first time, and then he tells them exactly what they're meant to do and stuff like that, and then how Marinette sort of gets pissed off and annoyed with Cat Noir, and then she basically goes off, and then we get Cat Noir's song, which is an alright song. It's like definitely Cat Noir's song was alright. It was definitely more about his personality in the movie, how it sort of gets a better, like how he says basically in the movie he's a bit more lonelier, and then this actually gives him a purpose and he's actually happy. And then we get basically after that they go back home after Cat Noir's song, and we catch up when we go with Adrian, and basically Plague with the fart jokes I think might have just been it's definitely a bit over the top for this movie. He could have just been a bit more like the show, and they should have just got rid of the fart jokes and stuff like that and gave Plague his personality. So he kept up with Tiki, like we see with Tiki. Tiki's still the same sort of personality, a bit more sassy than the show, but still similar personality to the show, which kind of keeps her, like the Kwame, a bit more like, I guess you say a bit more like for like the audience just to catch on a little bit more. And then we go on to Gabriel doing his villain song, which actually probably for me was definitely up there as like one of my sort of probably second favorite song in this movie. They definitely a very good villain type of song he was singing, and it was actually pretty sick. And then how he goes into like a jail and akumatizes sort of villains, the prisoners, and especially the two that we see the Cat Noir and Marinette fight a bit. So yeah, we get the four main characters, Nino, Alia, Marinette and Adrian, all here at like a show, like a carnival show with rides and stuff, and basically they meet, and then you can see how Marinette is crushing on Adrian here, but then basically we get this part here, and then a bit more floating between Marinette and Adrian a little bit afterwards, after he sees her drawings after her bag drops, and then her dad Tom, but he ruins it all by showing his face. And then Gabriel wants Adrian to be back home because the Kumatan's villains are coming here to make up the place. And then this is where get the heroes fighting the villains again. These villains are actually pretty sick, how these ones are. And then we go into probably this is very close. It's like these last three songs sort of up the scale for me. Like this one here of Marinette basically singing that she's accepting to be Ladybug, like bravery and stuff like that. She's accepting it. Was actually really, really good. Then we get into a pretty sick battle here with the main characters and the other villains here. So they figure out that working together, like their powers together, is stronger together basically. But yeah, they stop the roller coaster and then get a Ferris wheel. Basically they had to fight, like they made a giant like balloon baby doll thing, I guess you'd call it. And it was pretty good and pretty cool, like how the villain sort of is different to the show with the villain wise. And then basically we get Cat Noir sort of saying that he's just a psychic when they know who Ladybug is, but he was like, he's just a psychic. And then we go into a montage of them fighting basically a bunch of villains from the show, some new ones too, which were interesting to see. But yeah, it was like a bit of a time skip, and like I said, a montage of different things being like going on through, like Marinette becoming better at everything else, sort of Adrian and Marinette's like relationship sort of getting a bit more onwards, like blossoming and stuff like that. And then also like a Lady Noir type of thing. And then we get sort of them sort of flirting as Cat Noir and Ladybug, and then basically they sort of fight on the roof before they get sort of nice and close. And then this is where then basically she goes back off home, and then we get back to basically to school. Then I like the next clip where she asks Alia if she thinks that Adrian would go to like the dance with her, and then Chloe comes in doing a normal Chloe thing, saying, "Do you really think?" And then actually this Marinette's a lot more braver than the show one, because she actually stands up and talks back to Chloe, and space one line I kind of the lines I like is like how she says the adults are talking and her hair looks like a rat's nest. Like that was kind of cool. Then we go on to basically Cat Noir sort of inviting Ladybug on a date, basically, with calling her on the earrings, which was only a new thing they sort of put in season 6, but they had in the movie here. And she basically went there, and then we get the duet musical part with the duet where they're singing, and basically Cat Noir tries and confesses his love to Ladybug, but because like in the show she likes Adrian, not Cat Noir, she breaks his heart at the end, saying like her heart's already taken by somebody else. And then Adrian feels basically down like he did as he did in the show, and was like basically feels down in the show, being rejected and stuff like that, and says like, how did he think anybody could love a broken heart underneath this mask? And then we go on to basically Adrian goes back home, and he actually stands up to his father in this in the scene, which is actually pretty cool, because he doesn't really stand up to his father much in the show. And then we get the clip of Marinette asking Adrian out to the dance, but he's still feeling sad about being rejected by Ladybug, so he says no to Marinette, which is one thing like this. Marinette's definitely a lot more braver than the show, because the show Marinette definitely wouldn't have asked that, and she basically gets shafted and he says no in the middle of the hallway with everybody else around. So he goes home basically sort of saying like how nothing's sort of going right into like a musical, which this movie's probably 50%, well, definitely 50% musical and then 50% action. Like most of the time when the characters talk, it's musical where they're singing instead of actually just talking. And then we get basically Monarch going on his last hurrah, like final battle, sort of like a season 4 finale sort of ordeal, and basically acclimatizes itself. And then this is actually a pretty cool final battle scene. Like this final battle scene was actually a lot cooler. Well, it definitely was thought through a lot more than the season 5 finale, but season 5 finale to me actually still felt reasonable. Like I understand why they went the finale that way, and after seeing the London special, it's sort of that ending makes more sense when you watch the London special straight after, instead of like most of the fans watched the show over 8 years were only just sort of new to the show. And this final battle like is really sick, and sort of how he how the whole of Paris sort of gets destroyed, and the lighting here in this like final battle scene is actually like shows off the like graphics, I guess I say graphics, but like the animation style with the lighting and everything, and also the hair. Like I didn't mention how good the hair actually looks in this compared to this, like the series, but like the seasons that actually where the hair's like more still. It's like concrete hair, so this actually flows nicely. And then we get sad boy Adrian, after being rejected and laying there saying like basically not going out because he thinks that she's calling him because she misses him, but it's actually a big giant battle. And in the last second, as she's about to get attacked by the Akumas, there it is, Adrian comes and saves her. And basically Cat Noir goes up, tries and fights Monarch by himself, but then gets knocked down in his cataclysms to the Eiffel Tower. In this miraculous series, even a movie, the Eiffel Tower doesn't get a break from being destroyed. And then we get basically Cat Noir falling into the water, and sort of, yeah, from that high, sliding into the water is going to hurt, but then he also gets hit in the back of the head by a bit of railing from the Eiffel Tower, and then Ladybug jumps in, tries and saves him from the water, and because Monarch touches the water, turns the water to lava, which is actually pretty sick. And then this final battle scene, that's kind of cool, like different powers that Monarch has, where he can actually basically Star Wars style and use the Force to pull her up and hold her. But this is actually pretty cool that he actually stole Ladybug Miraculous so soon. And then we saw Cat Noir. Then we see Cat Noir try and fight back after he tries and steals the Miraculous, and then sort of gets hit straight back, and then Marinette jumps over and saves him by jumping basically in front, taking the hit, but she takes the hit, and then Monarch still goes over because they fly off, and then Monarch still goes over to get Cat Noir, but then realizes that Cat Noir is Adrian, because in the movie, his mask can break. In the show, he can't because it's magic. But then we get Gabriel taking away his evil powers and realizing what he's done, and then we get Gabriel telling Adrian what he was trying to do, bring basically Emily back, Adrian's mother back, and then Adrian says, like, you need to forget her. And then this is where first time in the show we see Marinette using her ability where she can fix everything, the miraculous ladybug. We see her finally using that in the show. In the movie we haven't seen that until the end. And then we go sort of a time skip because it goes from winter to the dance, and then we get Marinette hop out with like a nice dress that she made because fashion designer, and then we basically just get them talking a little bit. At least in this movie, Sabrina's a bit more not much of a arsehole like she is in the show, with following exactly what Chloe does. She's actually got some remorse. Then we go on to a reveal scene where Marinette meets Adrian, and they confess that they are Ladybug and Cat Noir, and then we get a nice sort of dancing scene, and then just before it ends, it just ends just before they kiss, and then there was a after credits sort of thing. Well, not really after credits, it was before the credits, but just after it says the end, where Natalie goes into the underground lair where Emily's corpse is laying there, and then that was the cliffhanger they left for the second movie when that comes out. But that was my review on the Miraculous Cat Noir movie, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and tell me what your thoughts were about the movie. This is what I thought about the movie and what I went through. It's actually my thoughts. It was a pretty good movie. Like, there was some story like some parts, but it's still pretty good. The character building wasn't 100% there, but it is an hour and 40-minute movie. If it's like 2.5 hours, probably had a bit more time to flesh out the characters, but they did pretty well, and it was actually not a bad movie as I thought it might have been. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next video.